WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It is 1 o'clock and 72 degrees in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Ty. Decision, Wisconsin. It is day one of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. WTMJ's Eric Bilstand reports from the United Center, where there's some slight differences from the RNC setup in Milwaukee.
One of the differences between Milwaukee and Chicago, the L. That's the pink line rolling right past the DNC campus. One of the other notable differences here is the size of the United Center and the Advocate Center, which is where the Bulls are usually practicing and planning for their next game. Right now it's just a media center. Elsewhere here at the United Center, what you'll find is lots of media now, lots of bigwigs trying to get ready for a big interview. Delegates are starting to line up. The gates don't open for the United Center for a few hours yet, so it'll take some time before you really see this place get busy. Outside the United Center at the DNC in Chicago, Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, the Libertarian Party's vice presidential nominee is campaigning here in Wisconsin this week. Mike Termott tells WTMJ you can't reduce inflation if you don't reduce the size of federal government.
You've got to stop the government from spending so much money. All of our economic problems come from the fact that the government has too broad a scale and too deep a scope.
Chase Oliver is that party's presidential nominee. The Libertarian Party is on the Wisconsin ballot for the November 5th election. A woman found guilty of reckless homicide in a high-profile Kenosha County murder case just learned her sentence.
Crystal Kaiser will serve 16 years for her reckless homicide conviction connected to the 2018 death of Randall Villar, who Kaiser argued was trafficking her for sex when she was 17 years old. The first 11 of those 16 years will be spent in initial confinement and 5 after that under extended supervision. Kaiser pled guilty in May after her lawyers argued she was justified in her actions under a Wisconsin state law that allows one to be acquitted of all charges if a crime was committed as a direct result of being trafficked. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Tech giant Mike Lynch, once described as the Bill Gates of Britain, and several other people are missing today after their luxury super yacht sank during a freak early morning storm off the coast of Sicily.
Sicilian officials say one body's been found, 6 people remain missing, and 15 people were rescued, among them Lynch's wife. The super yacht had a crew of 10 people and 12 passengers. Authorities believe the bodies of the missing are inside the hull of the ship. Lynch was acquitted in June on federal fraud and conspiracy charges in the U.S. related to Hewlett-Packard's $11 billion takeover of his business software company. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. We're looking good on Wall Street for this Monday. Everything is in the green. The Dow is up 181 points to 40,841. S&P 500 is up 34 points to 5,588. And the NASDAQ is up 132 points to 17,764. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sonny Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:04.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Since 1955, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. Hey, don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget. They'll even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
It's still summer in Wisconsin, and Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc has you covered for fun in the sun. From bike nights to Saturday rides, or maybe just some retail therapy like a new motorcycle, or just a little something for yourself, there's always something going on. Check out Wisconsin Harley-Davidson at WISHD.com and like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at WISHD.com. Don't just see the world. Feel it right here, right now. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gerber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Winners of 5 straight games, all against first-place teams. The Brewers enjoy a day off before a 3-game series with the Cardinals starts tomorrow night. The Brewers begin the day with an 11-game lead over St. Louis for the first place in the NL Central. Take a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We do have a crash that's still out there on the system. This happened during Wisconsin's Midday News. I-43 south beyond the ramp from Silver Spring Drive. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash there. That's over in the Whitefish Bay area. Let me take a peek, too, and see. Nope, that's a disabled vehicle, not causing too many problems. Everything else on the system is a disabled vehicle that is not causing too many issues. So just that one crash near Whitefish Bay, I-43 south, near Silver Spring Drive.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, it's going to be nice. High of 75. Tonight, mainly clear. Temps will dip down to 59. Really? The whole week is going to be nice. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high of 71. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high of 74. Thursday, mostly sunny, and then we're going to go up to 77 for our high. Friday, things change just a bit, but it's not bad. Partly cloudy on Friday, high of 80. It's currently 72 degrees in Milwaukee. Sunny Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 107.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State, and here are your hosts, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Well, that's only half true. I am Brian Noonan. Kristen isn't here today. She is going to be at the Democratic National Convention all week. She is credentialed as a content creator, but we will be checking in with Kristen twice a show. First time at 1:35 and then again at 2:35 to find out what she is up to. We are also going to do some other things. We're going to talk about the CDC and what they want farm workers to do. Then, of course, in the second hour, we are going to spin the state. We're going to go to Palmyra, Kenosha, New Glarus, lots of places. Then we're going to turn our attention back to the DNC, and we're going to talk to the Chicago Tribune's head political reporter, Rick Pearson. I've known Rick for a long time. We're going to talk to him about the differences and similarities between the RNC here in Milwaukee, the DNC in Chicago. The last DNC he covered in Chicago was in 1996. So we'll find out also a little bit about why Wisconsin and Illinois are similar in the fact that they have a few very blue hubs in a state that then has a lot of red, and how that tends to wash out, whereas Illinois mostly goes blue, Wisconsin is a swing state. So where the differences are there. So we're going to do that as well. I have an update on a story that we told you about last week, and the state police are launching a program to try to keep you all in line. So we'll talk about that, too. But, yes, we are going to be spending a lot of time this week, obviously, on the DNC. Wisconsin's Afternoon News will be there starting tomorrow, broadcasting their show. Kristen, as I mentioned, is going to be there. So she will be doing all kinds of things. There are special programming items on our schedule. One is tonight, which we'll learn about in a couple of minutes, and then one is Thursday night. So it's very exciting. I'm actually getting to go to Thursday night's big closing session of the convention. The show isn't on that day because of a Brewers game and because of a connection at my wife's office. I have a ticket along with my wife to go see the convention, which will be very exciting. Having spent the week at the Republican National Convention here in Milwaukee, it's going to be interesting to see the differences as I sit in United Center up in the stands like just a regular citizen and watch it. But Rhea, you'll get a kick out of this. My wife is going to She's going to the convention on Thursday. She's going to an event tonight. She made sure she bought some Chucks this weekend so that she would have Chucks to wear with her pearls and her Harris T-shirt to all the events. She's ready to go.
Is she going to do some, like, new boot goofing? Or
I don't know what any of those words mean.
What?
New boot goofing.
New boot goofing.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Wait for the break. I'm ready.
All right. All right, listen. Rhea's got to go. I'll find out what new boot goofing is. If you know, please fill me in. Sometimes I feel very with it, and dare I say hip. Other times, man, I feel like I should be in a rocking chair with a corncob pipe sitting somewhere just waiting for someone to put an Afghan over my knees. But we'll figure that all out. Hey, we have a surprise special guest coming up on the other side of the break, so I don't want to keep them waiting. Let's do this, and then there's more. It's Spanning the State.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
Are you in need of expert exterior renovations? Look no further than Ridgetop Exteriors. For over 22 years, we've been the trusted name in roofing, siding, windows, doors, and gutter replacements. With a track record of excellence on our Google reviews, we take pride in transforming houses into dream homes. Visit us today at ridgetopexteriors.com for a free consultation. That's ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, your trusted local affordable partners.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeanssitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Outdoor living is great, but it's best when it's at your own home. Well, there's a company called Outdoor Living Unlimited that will build you a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, all manner of things to enhance outdoor living at your place, even an outdoor kitchen. Get started right away. Contact Outdoor Living Unlimited now. Get your yard project onto Outdoor Living Unlimited's calendar while there's still openings. OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Oh! Wait, what? I'm just goofing. New boot goofing. Oh!
All right. So that's from Reno 911. Was this an ongoing thing throughout the show, or was it a one-time, one-line deal?
I've never seen the show. It just has that one clip, and I know that specifically. And he went and bought some, like, ostrich boots or some, like, even 3 payments. It's so funny.
Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't know.
Well,
New boot goofing.
I apologize for not getting your reference. But now we'll have to move on in sadness. It is Spanning the State. Kristen is at the DNC, and so we'll be checking in with her at 1:35. But I mentioned earlier that there is some special programming covering the Democratic National Convention. One of those is tonight from 6 to 9, and one of the men behind it, Steve Scafidi, has wandered into the studio. He's here. Hello. Always good to see you.
Always. Can you hear me?
No, I can't.
I can't hear myself.
We're trying to figure it out. Do you have the on button pushed?
Can you hear me talking?
Uh-oh, hold on. Rhea's running.
All right.
Now you're back.
Because she wasn't expecting it, that's why.
Yeah.
No, it's always great to stop in. I love coming into the show. And,
Yes.
as luck would have it, I'm here till 9 o'clock tonight. So
Well,
I have
that's
plenty of available time. I'm geeked because everybody says to me, we want more Scafidi. So I said to our content guy, Mike Spalding, our boss.
Can I go back for a minute? Everybody? I'll just let
I use that in a general sense. Okay, not every
Okay.
person that I meet basically says that because that would be silly and dumb. But no, a lot of people say
sure.
we want
Many
more
people have
Scafidi
said
to
it.
comment on things because let's be honest, that's kind of what I do.
Well, and this would be a big week for you to be commenting on things.
Right. My show is literally called the Political Power Hour. So we said let's times it by 3, 6 to 9 tonight.
That's nice.
Everything DNC.
So will you be, I know you're going to be talking about what's going on. Do you have is anybody joining you? Anybody popping in from?
Dr. Ken Harris, Truth 1017.
That'll be good.
Your partner in crime, Kristen Bry, is allegedly going to join us tonight.
Depending on where she... Listen, I hear that her first assignment is very tough.
Oh, yeah. She's on like a Love Boat cruise. Isn't that what she's on right now?
Yes, we'll find out soon.
Is she on the lake or the river?
I don't know. We'll find that out because she is cruising, not for
bruising.
Yeah, not for a bruising.
Mm-hmm. That was too easy.
She's actually on a boat somewhere.
Doing what exactly?
Well,
because the DNC is not on water.
Well, Steve, I don't know if you've been to Chicago lately. I was
in Illinois yesterday.
Okay,
for a matter of fact.
Well, the metro area has broken off from the rest of the state and has floated out. It's kind of like Waterworld now.
It is. So the DNC, I know what you're trying to do there, Brian. You're trying to be funny like you always are. But the DNC...
It's always a slam when somebody goes, "Oh, you're trying to be funny."
But I do it with love.
Do you?
Yeah, that's the difference.
You're on fire today because I watched you pick apart one of the most beloved MCs,
yes. the youngster Nick Van Wagen.
Yes, you went after him.
I couldn't resist.
With
who orders hot peppers on a sub and then complains about how hot the peppers are? That makes no sense. And you paid extra for that.
You let him know it in no uncertain terms.
I did. And was that tough love? I think it might have been.
Well, listen, I don't know what you want to call it.
So tonight...
what's happening tonight?
Dr. Ken Harris and I are going to give some tough love to the Democrats in Chicago. So this is their party. This is their show.
It is their show. And as somebody who lives literally right down the street from where this is happening, there's already a lot of differences, as I'm sure you know. The footprint for the DNC is wildly different than the footprint for the RNC.
I understand the McCormick and United Center are like 6 miles apart.
Well, yeah, but if you think about it, here everything is very close in proximity.
Yes.
So it was easy to shut down one big area.
Mm-hmm.
There, they've got 2 areas shut down, plus a smaller area where VP Harris and some of the delegations, those hotels, there's street closures around those hotels. But whereas in Milwaukee, a lot of the downtown businesses were cut off, that's not going to be the case in Chicago because McCormick Place is right on the lake, so there's nothing to the east of it. The border of the security zone doesn't go that far west. And really, around United Center, the border of the security zones are inside where all the businesses are.
Right.
So it's a little more convenient for residents, despite the fact that there are street closures and traffic.
I heard they already regret having it in Chicago. Now they're saying, and it hasn't even started yet, that they should have done both in Milwaukee. That's what I'm hearing from.
Is that the word on the street?
That is the buzz. Yeah, they wanted both in Milwaukee because it was done so well here.
See, I'll be honest. When you get your news from various sources, you get various messages. I had not heard that argument
That's
from the
just
Chicago
some
media.
rando person I met on the way into the office here.
Is that the same person who told you they wanted more Scafidi?
Yes.
All right. Well, that's good then. This person, I don't know, man or woman, very well rounded.
I felt like they knew a little about a lot of things.
So that's the best way to be. Why be an expert on one thing?
So I'm excited. Dr. Ken Harris, Kristen Bry is going to join us. We'll probably have other guests as well. I've like spread my network.
Very nice.
At least the ass.
What are you expecting from the convention this week?
This is just a party because all the work's done already. Yeah. So we're going to see a lot of celebrities.
Ooh.
They have like celebrity hosts every night apparently. Yep. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is one of them.
Yes, she's having a breakfast.
She's a comedian like you.
She's very funny.
She is funny. They've got Mindy Kaling, also a comedian, very funny. So I like the humor part of it because, let's be honest, Democrats are funny to me. So I'm not afraid to say that. And
Very good. I'm glad you're not.
This is a party for them. This is not. There's no hard work, heavy lifting being done. We already sort of know what their policies. That's coming out Wednesday, apparently.
Yep. What did you think about the economic speech the other day?
Not much.
Not much. Okay, very good.
Campaign or convention promises
be nothing on either side.
No,
right?
That's just blather.
All right.
Yeah, to use a B word.
The B word?
Yeah, a different B word than I was thinking of using.
All right. Are you having FOMO from not being at the convention?
A little bit, because I really enjoyed it. That was my first go at a convention. I loved everything about it. I thought, and kudos to all the folks, law enforcement down to all the planners and even the local restaurants who some did well, some didn't. It was well done. It was a great party. And so I am missing a little bit, but you know what? John McCure is going to sit in with me for my first hour for at least half of it.
Okay.
And he's going to be down there doing a lot of great coverage, along with some of our other teammates, Adam Roberts, Eric Bilstead, who we heard from during the news. So we're covering it very well, very, very diligently.
The one big difference that I'm finding between Milwaukee and Chicago, and it's already started, leading up to the RNC, there was a lot of talk about potential unrest and demonstrations, and we didn't really see too much of that here, thank goodness. The protests have already started in Chicago. Yesterday, there was a 3.5-hour protest that marched down Michigan Avenue. The city, just like in Milwaukee, down to the wire where the city and the protesters reached an agreement for a park that's just across a couple parking lots from United Center. They can now have their stage and their professional sound systems. What do you have any thoughts on what they can expect?
I mean, there's a healthy bit of concern because there's going to be more of them. Thousands of protesters versus maybe hundreds in Milwaukee. Bigger city, lots more places they can cause mayhem. It's not unique to the convention. They've had issues where there's been civil unrest in Chicago for a lot of other issues beyond this political one. So I think healthy concern. There's lots of law enforcement. Seeing what I saw in Milwaukee, I'm not necessarily worried about the zone. It's outside of the zone that I would have some concerns for. Right. Hopefully that doesn't happen. It's supposed to be a cooler temperature week. Yeah. As weird as that sounds, that can actually minimize some of the anger and frustration.
Well, people don't get as antsy, and they're not as
Nobody
angry.
wants to be outside when it's hot, protesting or otherwise.
Exactly. Well, you can listen to Steve Scafidi and Dr. Ken Harris tonight from 6 to 9.
And John McCure.
And John McCure from 6 to 9. And then you're going to repeat this all on Thursday, correct?
I'm going to do it again because it's going to be so well received. And again, everyone's going to say we want more Ty and Scafidi.
That's it. Everyone is saying it. I always say it. We'll talk to you again on Friday for the Political Power Half Hour.
That's 5 days away, and I'm already geeked about it.
I can't wait. It's always a pleasure. Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
All right, let's do this. Then there's more. It's Spanning the State.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Monte Carlo, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I personally guarantee it. At our award-winning showroom, you'll also find special factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. At this year's NBA Parade of Homes, August 10th to September 2nd, you'll see more of our lights and fans in most every model home. Our showroom is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water. Got an old boat, a new boat in between. Kendor Marine. Upholstery and parts, hard to find things. Kendor Marine. Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water. Everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water. Like a boat-loving kid in a candy store. Kendor Marine. If you have a question, we have the expertise at Kendor Marine. Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We've got everything you need but the water.
Easy to find at 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin or at KendorMarine.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, Brian Noonan here for El Bandito Yankee Tequila. Get ready to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. 100% Blue Weber agave, award-winning, all-natural, additive-free, and the smoothest tequila Milwaukee, Madison, and Titletown has ever tasted. Get yours today at great spots like La Piña on 3rd Street and your favorite local stores. Remember, you always win with the undefeated flavor of El Bandito Yankee Tequila. And for events, recipes, and places for purchase, go to elbanditoyankee.com. Sounds like I'm doing a shot when I try to pronounce La Piña, but that's all right. It's Brian Noonan, spanning the state. Kristen Bry is at the Democratic National Convention. We'll be talking to her on the other side of the news. She's there all week. And then John and Julia with Wisconsin Afternoon News will be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we will be covering the Democratic Convention almost like we did the Republican convention, except the Republican was right around the block. That was a little easier for us to handle. But a lot going on today, and I was talking about some of the things with Steve, the differences and the similarities between the DNC and the RNC, and the only thing that changed, the only other big difference I saw, Milwaukee's police department, because of the size, had brought in other agencies to help with that. Chicago being a much bigger city and a bigger police department, they have not brought in any extra. They do have some National Guard MPs that are on call as backup, not the National Guard in general, but just the MPs from the National Guard. So they are there and ready to help out if needed. Let's, all right. I wanted to tell you this because a lot of things are happening, despite the fact that the political world's attention is in Chicago. Wisconsin is not off the hook. Everybody is still focusing on Wisconsin. The governor was not in Wisconsin today, though. He was in Chicago. He spoke at a breakfast at the DNC. But tomorrow, you may have heard Vice President Harris and Tim Walz will be in town. They are going to have a rally at Fiserv Forum tomorrow. Now, the doors open for Fiserv Forum at 4 o'clock. There's no charge, but you have to have a ticket to get in. So if you go to the Democratic Party of Wisconsin website, you can register for a ticket. Now, registering doesn't mean you have a ticket, but if you register between 12 and 24 hours before the event, you will be notified if you get a ticket. Then you can go. It starts at 4 o'clock. There hasn't been any exact word on when the speeches will start, but they anticipate the speeches to be done before former President and First Lady Barack and Michelle Obama begin to speak in Chicago, because their speeches will be broadcast or streamed into Fiserv Forum. So if you go and you hear Vice President Harris and Tim Walz speak, you will also be able to watch Barack and Michelle Obama speak then. So again, that's 4 o'clock. Go to the Democratic Party of Wisconsin website for that. Now, on the other side of the political aisle, J.D. Vance is going to be in town tomorrow, too. I don't know if you're sensing a pattern. It seems wherever the Democrats are, the Republicans are there as well. J.D. Vance is going to be, this coming off his appearance last week with the Milwaukee police officers, he is going to be in Kenosha tomorrow. He's going to hold a press conference on the Kenosha County Courthouse steps. It's going to focus on safety and crime. So he's going to be there. The press conference tomorrow is at noon. So it's going to be the third week in a row that J.D. Vance has been in Wisconsin. So as you know, we're going to be seeing a lot of politicians over the next few weeks, 70-some days, and it's just going to be nonstop. So there is that. Now, when we come back after the news at the bottom of the hour, Kristen Bry is going to jump on. She is in Chicago. Word has it that she is on a boat, which does not sound like a very hard assignment. We're going to find out, because I'm sitting here in the studio, and while I love my job and I love the studio, and Jessica Ty's in here working on the news, and I get to see Rhea, everybody's here, but being on a boat seems better. The only thing is the weather conditions for Lake Michigan today in Chicago are very rough. We're getting northeast winds coming down. Last night, the meteorologist was apoplectic, saying that, oh my gosh, the waves tomorrow, 6 to 10 feet. It's going to be crazy on Lake Michigan. So if you're here after the news and Kristen is on Lake Michigan and not the Chicago River, you may get to hear her vomit. I'm not making any promises. I don't mean to sound, too hyperbolic, getting people all excited. I'm not trying to be sensational. I'm just laying out what might be happening. So that's Krista will join us on the other side of the news. Right now, though, it is time for ABC News and then local headlines. More after this on Spanning the State.
ABC News. I'm Daria Albinger. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Israel. It's his 9th visit to the region since the October 7th attacks, and this is the reason for this visit.
To bring an agreement for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of hostages across the finish line.
Blinken says Prime Minister Netanyahu supports the bridging proposal for a ceasefire and hostage release that was outlined by President Biden and says Hamas must get on board. President Biden will give the keynote address on this first night of the Democratic National Convention. Vice President Harris will accept the party's nomination for president on Thursday night. Former President Trump and his running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance, will appear at separate rallies today in Pennsylvania. Phil Donahue has died. He was the first TV talk show host to include audience participation. He was 88. Expelled New York Congressman George Santos expected to plead guilty to a number of fraud charges when he appears in federal court today. This is ABC News.
Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A woman found guilty in a high-profile murder case in Kenosha County has learned her sentence. Crystal Kaiser will serve 16 years for her reckless homicide conviction connected to the 2018 death of Randall Volar. Kaiser said he trafficked her for sex when she was a teenager. The first 11 years of her sentence will be initial confinement. It's 5 years of extended supervision after that. You're asked to stay out of Lake Michigan today due to life-threatening waves and strong currents. A beach hazard statement is in effect until tomorrow afternoon. The National Weather Service says waves could get up to 5 feet. Late yesterday, crews rescued 3 people from the water at Bender Beach in Oak Creek. At least 2 were sent to the hospital with injuries. There was a second unrelated rescue in Oak Creek yesterday near the Elm Road boat launch. And Milwaukee police are looking for 28-year-old Steven Laskowski. Laskowski is about 6 feet tall. He has short brown hair, brown eyes, and tattoos on both arms. Laskowski was last seen Saturday night near 27th and Botsford. He was wearing a purple and blue tie-dye shirt. He may be traveling in a black 2016 Volkswagen with Wisconsin license plate AXD 5073. A photo and more information is available online at our website, WTMJ.com. Time for news about your money now. Here's your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. We're looking good on this Monday on Wall Street. Everything is in the green. The Dow is up 150 points to 40,809. S&P 500 is up 35 points to 5,589. And the NASDAQ is also up 153 points to 17,785. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. A couple of the accidents that we had earlier have cleared, so that's great news. The only incident right now is not a crash. It's just a disabled vehicle. I-43 north at Wisconsin 164. The right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. That's also a spot where you do have some construction cones out there just due to the construction zone, so traffic is moving along a little bit slower. And here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Really nice for this week. Mainly clear tonight, low of 59. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 71. Mostly sunny on Wednesday and Thursday as well. High of 74 on Wednesday, high of 77 on Thursday. Friday, our temp will go all the way up to 80, but it will be partly cloudy. Not bad, though. It is currently 75 degrees in Sheboygan, 76 in Kenosha, and 75 in Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic. Dr. Alex Young and his team, Milwaukee's top chiropractor in the Journal Sentinel Best Choice Awards. You and I have a lot to do with that. More WTMJ listeners are coming in, even with their young families. Have the kids checked out now so they can be healthier and better focused in school. And no worries, because it's no twisting, no cracking, no popping. See how they do it. Visit the booth at Wisconsin State Fair and tell them Vinny sent you. Or get started online now. It's Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
The little one just took her first steps. Her stride? Wobbly.
Oh my gosh, she's doing
Her parents? Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, watch out.
But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score for Choice and Platinum Choice checking customers. So while you're monitoring and protecting her every move, you can do the same for your credit score too. You've got this with free credit score from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
For your next exterior remodeling project, we know you're not asking a lot from us. You want the right products for your situation, you want a few different financing options that can make your project affordable, and you want us to do a good job with minimal disruption to your life. And this one's important. You want a warranty that matters. And we know that checking every box makes all the difference. You might be surprised at how many moving parts go into it, but we have just the right people in all the right places to pull that off every day and make it look easy. The company we have took us 21 years to build. It's an awesome place to work because we never stop improving it, and we think we can do this work so well that we can actually change the reputation of exterior remodelers long term. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Ask about our finance options.
Live from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, it's Kristen Bry. Wow, that sounds very network. I like it. Very exciting. I'm Brian Noonan. I'm in the studio at the home office in Milwaukee, and Kristen Bry. What a switch that I'm in Milwaukee and Kristen is in Chicago. Welcome to my hometown. How are things in Chicago?
You know, I feel like at this point in my life of being more settled and worrying about the things you can control and not getting too worked up over the things you can't control was really the motto for getting down here this morning and everything going smoothly. Because while there was no traffic, shockingly, getting into downtown Chicago, picking up credentials has been interesting. But I made it to the boat. So I am live talking to you from just outside Navy Pier.
That was, I heard you were going to be on a boat, and I thought to myself, and Steve asked this too, what kind of pleasure cruise assignment is this? This doesn't seem very convention-like. This seems like, I'm taking a day trip to Chicago to cruise around an architecture tour.
So it's interesting, and one of the things I'm really excited to track while I'm here this week, because as we've said before, I'm here as a creator in the creator program, which is different than a media credential, which obviously for RNC is what we all had. We were media. There is this new level of credentialedness, I guess, which is the 200 to 300 social media creators that have been invited to come here. And I am one of them, not because I have a ton of followers, but because whatever audience I do have is in Wisconsin. And we all know Wisconsin is important. And so it's interesting as what I'm trying to pick up this week and report on is how different creators are getting treated than media, what access we have, what fun things are planned for us, like a boat cruise on Lake Michigan.
Is there anybody on anybody on the cruise, a candidate or some VIPs, or is it just the creators who are out just enjoying the sights?
So I got the very tail end of it. So I was at McCormick Place grabbing my credentials, thinking I was going to miss the boat because things were taking longer than expected. And unlike Milwaukee, where everything was next to each other, as we experienced, McCormick Place to Navy Pier to United Center, all 5 to 6 miles, not walking distance, right? And so you're either getting in a shuttle or you are trying to flag down a taxi or getting an Uber. And so I didn't think I was going to make the boat. I did make the boat, obviously, because I'm on here now, but there was a little speech before I got on the boat with Gwen Walls, Tim Walls' wife. And so she was on the boat. I did get a picture with her, but I did not get to hear her speak. And then Kamala Harris's niece, Mia Harris, is on the boat. I walked past her as I was trying to find a quiet space to call into the show. She is a lawyer, also kind of an influencer. She has a big social media following and has been, even before Kamala Harris became vice president, I think had a social media following. And so she is on the boat. But otherwise, it is a lot of creators. And I have to say, I walked onto the deck of the boat, and there was lots of outfits of the day going on and fit checks and different kinds of content that I don't make.
Well, no, because you're
with the Chicago skyline in the background.
Because your content is very politics driven. That's your brand at As Goes Wisconsin. So I assume the more you talk to them, you'll be able to answer this better. Is it creators who do all kinds of things? Is it just political creators? Is it all just an effort, and it's a good effort to attract a younger audience? But how did they decide who was going to be there?
Who
on
got
the
to come?
program?
I know.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of the interviews I'm doing this week is talking to other creators. So I wrote down this morning with my friend Kate Duffy, who runs Motherhood for Good, which is an account more specific to Wisconsin and Wisconsin politics. She got really involved in 2022 after Uvalde and Roe got overturned. And so that's kind of what got her inspired to be into politics. And so hers is certainly political. I also talked to another creator named Ravina, who lives in Los Angeles. And I recognize, that's what's funny with this game of like, I recognize you, but I don't actually know what your handle is on social media. But I had recognized her face. She was lovely. And I asked her, what kind of content do you make? And for years, she was doing lifestyle blogging, like wedding blogs, and just she's done different types of content as the internet has evolved. But it was only in the last couple of years, specifically because she has a son who has special needs, that she got more into politics and decided that her content was going to reflect all the different aspects of her life, not just the lifestyle, fashion, makeup stuff. It was also going to be about the politics and the issues that she really cares about.
Well,
so I think it's a wide range.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy. Did they? You mentioned that they did this for the RNC too, right? They had a creators group.
So I had heard in passing that there was about 70 different creators that were also at the RNC.
Okay.
I don't feel like that was not like the loop that I was on as far as what was planned for them, what access they had to things, and if there was as much of a entire team dedicated to creators like there is here. Because I had a little bit of an issue this morning because since I was credentialed as media for the RNC, my email was attached to a media credential, even though I have a different credential. And so there's an entire team, though, for the creators who are helping me work on that versus me just getting to Chicago and then being like, good luck.
Well, that is good to hear. Will you have to go through what you went through this morning every day?
TBD. So, as you know, Tipua was able to pick up all of our credentials for each day. And so there is a different credential that you get that says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we, at the beginning of the RNC, had all four and decided to make sure we didn't lose them prior to the day that we needed to use them. It sounds like we need to be able to get to McCormick Place and pick up our credential each day. And I don't know if that is because there's creators who are coming in and out and not planning to be here all 4 days. I'm not exactly sure what the difference is there. So hopefully it is a smoother process as far as getting in through security than it was today, but we'll see.
All right, one thing I've been talking about last night on the news, they were predicting rough conditions on Lake Michigan with waves 6 to 10 feet. Are you experiencing any rough seas?
So I don't get seasick. I have a pretty strong stomach, but my friend Kate that I said that I drove down here with, we were just inside and she goes, do you think it's going to stay this wavy? And she looked a little green and I was like, well, why don't you go outside and get some fresh air? So I feel fine, but it's not a smooth ride. There's a gentle back and forth happening on this big boat right now.
Well, it wouldn't matter if you were in Milwaukee or Chicago today. That's the conditions all up and down that side of the lake. So what's on the agenda? We're going to talk to you again at 2:35. What's happening between now and then? Will you continue to sail around Lake Michigan, or are you going to be brought to land for some other things to do?
So we're docking at 3. So when I call back, we'll still be on the boat. In the meantime, I'm going to try to talk and interview more creators and see what their mission is. One of the things that I'm really excited to try to answer this week with this creator program is the line between activism and journalism that any one of the creators feels like their responsibility is while they're here, as far as like telling the story of and reporting what's happening versus it being their content being more about motivating people and getting people excited and what that range really looks like. So I'm going to go talk to some more people in the next hour. And then tonight we're going to the United Center. And then I think all of this is like, when I see the whites of their eyeballs is when I know that I'm actually in. I think I am going to the Wisconsin Democrats Arizona delegate party at the House of Blues tonight.
Hey now.
So we'll see a lot of Wisconsin people tonight, hopefully.
Very cool. Well, we'll talk to you at 2:35. Enjoy the seas. Tell your friend to just look at the horizon. And that'll
Perfect. I'll pass that on.
Keep her from yakking. We'll talk to you in a little bit. That's Kristen Bry. You know her. She is, she's my co-host, and she is going to be in Chicago for the convention all week. We'll talk to her again in a little over an hour. Let's do this, and then there's so much more. It's Spanning the State.
Monica, Sarah, have you heard the good news?
What is it? Joe Gerke says our new store in Bristol, Wisconsin, otherwise known as Kenosha, will be open this autumn.
Kessler's Diamonds is opening a new store.
Indeed we are. It's located off I-94 and Highway 50.
We should reach out and tell people in the area that we're hiring.
Monica, that microphone is on. Tell them what we're looking for.
Do you love people? Do you smile a lot? Are you the person that all your friends come to when they need help or advice?
Kessler's Diamonds is one of the top engagement ring stores in America.
And we're also the largest employee-owned jewelry company in the world.
You're going to love working for Kessler's Diamonds.
You're going to love shopping at Kessler's Diamonds.
Diamond engagement rings.
Diamond tennis bracelets.
Diamond stud earrings.
Diamond anniversary bands.
And big anniversary diamonds.
We do diamonds magnificently because diamonds are all we do.
To apply for a job or find out more about us, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In-store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
Between market volatility, inflation, global unrest, and the presidential election, there's a lot going on. Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Have a plan built that matches up with your investment and retirement goals. Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice. Annex offers financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Head to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. It's time to put things in order. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. AnnexWealth.com.
I was stuffed up. It was almost like someone put a clothespin over my nose. As an athlete, it did affect my performance. And as I got older, the congestion and poor sleep really took their toll.
Mike's a lifetime athlete. After hearing about Advent, he felt he could finally find a solution to his breathing triangle problems.
With my congestion, the kind of sleep I was getting wasn't allowing me to function the way I wanted to.
When your nose isn't working like it should be, it's going to negatively affect your sleep. And then you really can't be at your best at anything that you're doing.
It's been about 5 years since coming to Advent, and what balloon sinuplasty did for my quality of life, that step I took was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Balloon sinuplasty can help solve your breathing triangle problems, which will help you sleep better, and that's going to help you live a better quality of life.
Unlock your potential. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Our house is looking kind of drab. Needed a little bit of a facelift, and I found the team that took care of it big time. It's CertaPro Painters. Each business is independently owned and operated right here in Wisconsin. Schedule your free estimate online. It's easy. CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They will come out and help you protect your home investment with quality painting. It's CertaPro Painters. They are the real deal. They did great work at our house. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
This week, Spanning the State is really rolling with the changes. Kristen will not be here. She is going to be checking in with us twice a show from the DNC. I'm here. Ria's here. That's really all you need to know. You'll hear everybody. This is flu season. It's coming up. We all know flu season is happening. We also know that we've been hearing about new strains of bird flu emerging, and that is why I'm not going to argue the science of a flu shot. I'm just telling you, especially in an agrarian state like Wisconsin, the CDC is pushing for farm workers to get vaccinated if they work in the livestock industry. They're saying, hey, you got to get a seasonal flu shot to protect yourself from and reducing the chances of a new version of the bird flu emerging. So as of the end of July, the U.S. Department of Agriculture directed bird flu virus in poultry flocks in nearly every state. The virus has also been found in over 170 dairy herds. And so farm workers have daily contact with poultry and dairy cows. That's why they're farm workers. They're especially at risk for contracting this virus. Workers culling nearly 2 million laying hens at 2 poultry farms in Colorado got exposed to the virus. 9 of them tested positive. 4 dairy farm workers contracted the virus in Texas, Michigan, and Colorado. Now, I know out of all the farm workers, that's a very small sample size, so obviously nothing to panic about, but something to keep in mind. The CDC officials are saying, hey, look, the flu season's on the horizon. You should be proactive in preventing the virus from mutating into something more dangerous. Because livestock workers are at risk of becoming infected with bird flu due to their exposure to the animals, they're also at risk for contracting the seasonal flu, just like everybody else. So you don't want bird flu and regular flu. As part of the initiative, the CDC is going to allocate $5 million to partner organizations, including the National Center of Farm Worker Health, to focus on outreach and education efforts to train workers to protect themselves. Groups will work with key partners and states to increase access to testing, treatment, personal protective equipment, and the seasonal flu shot. I know there's a lot of people who don't get the flu shot. I never did until I started teaching. And once I started teaching, veteran teachers, you say, oh, make sure you get the flu shot, because every year there would be, schools in our district where a huge portion of the student body was out because of the flu. And then once the students get the flu, they pass it on to, yes, you guessed it, the teachers. And so then the teachers would be out and students would be out, and there were outbreaks kind of in a continuous cycle throughout all of flu season. So the first year I was teaching, I went and I got a flu shot. I never got the flu, so this is just anecdotal evidence. I'm not saying, that it's foolproof or anything like that. But for me, it worked, because if you've been around elementary school teachers, and I've said this countless times, everybody's heard it, that I think, young children, while they're lovely and very full of energy, they're also disgusting because they sneeze and just let things go everywhere. They have no control over what they're doing with their bodies or the fluids that come out of there. So, I don't think you can catch avian flu from a kindergartner, but you can definitely catch the regular flu. Now, if you're a farm worker and you're not around young children or livestock, you can make your own decision. We're just telling you what the CDC says, and it's because I know people who, I'm never getting a flu shot, and they don't get sick, and I'm like, that's great. I have no skin in the game one way or another. I'm just telling you, for me, it worked. So maybe it worked for somebody else. And if it doesn't work for you, then, don't get it. But there you go. All right. We're going to take a break. Then there's going to be news. After there's news, guess what? That's right. It's time for Spinning the State. And then we're going to talk to the head political reporter for the Chicago Tribune. Rick Pearson is going to join us to give us a perspective on what's going on in Chicago, and a whole lot more coming up in the next hour of Spanning the State.
Hot dog, get your hot dogs here. Hot and fresh hot dogs.
Hot diggity dog, it's baseball season. Wisconsin's Afternoon News has partnered up with Vienna Beef to bring you Brewers Ticket Tuesday.
Tune in every Tuesday during the 3 o'clock hour for your chance to win a pair of tickets for an upcoming Tuesday home game for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nothing says summer like a hot dog in baseball, and we've got both on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
On the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Procrastination Officer Brian Wickert. Most homeowners and home shoppers have heard the Federal Reserve will cut rates by 0.25% in mid-September. Well, I have great news. When it comes to mortgage rates, it's like the cut has already happened. That's how markets work, and it means there's no reason to wait to either start or resume your home search, because most 30-year fixed-rate loan scenarios will now have a rate and APR that starts with the number 6 instead of 7-point-something. The already lower mortgage rates also mean the refi window of opportunity is open for folks who bought their homes earlier this year or late last year with a rate in the mid to high 7s. If you can save $1,000 a year in payments and spend less than that in refi loan cost, do it. AccuNet can also typically offer a genuine no loan cost refi, which makes lowering your payment a genuine no-brainer. Don't wait. Click on the blue button today for a no-pressure refi checkup or to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
Need to hire quality candidates fast? You need Indeed. Our video interview tool makes it easy and effortless to meet with candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Now is the best time to sell your home, even if it's less than perfect. Summer is the easiest time to move, and the market is ripe. Grandview Homes buys homes and will pay more for your home right now than ever before. Our offer is good as long as the market doesn't change. Plus, we'll buy your home as is in any condition. No repairs or cleanouts needed. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
Oh, man, it's getting so expensive to dine out, but not at the Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. There is free pizza today at the Mineshaft. Every Monday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 2 pizzas, get 2 free. Buy 5, get 5. You buy 100 pizzas, you get 100 pizzas for free. The best Monday dining value anywhere. Business owners and managers, bring in pizza for your loyal employees and clients. Your second pizza is free. Your employees are going to love it. It's great pizza. Coaches, bring in your team for free pizza. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that huge game room. It's quietly tucked away from the dining area. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mineshaft. Order now for your employees and pick up your hot pizza shortly, or dine in the cool and comfortable Mineshaft restaurant in beautiful downtown Hartford or near the EAA in Oshkosh. Mondays are tough enough. Don't cook. Buy one pizza today, get one free. Mineshaft.restaurant.com. It's the amazing Mineshaft.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hi, everybody. This is Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford on Highway 100. I've got news that could save you a lot of money. Right now, until the end of the month, Hiller Ford is offering 0.9% 66-month financing plus a $2,000 factory flex buy rebate on brand new 2024 Ford F-150s. Add that to Hiller's deeply discounted prices, and that makes for a great time to buy from Hiller Ford. Stop in today and see why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
If you're feeling vibrations in your steering wheel after reaching speeds of over 50 miles per hour, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your brakes are making weird noises or feel strange every time you apply them, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your engine light is on, you should bring it to Richlands.
And let us fix it for you, because there isn't an auto service repair job on the planet that our service techs can't fix.
Courtney's right. Just check out some of our Google reviews. A whole lot of stars means a whole lot of happy customers.
Proof's in the pudding. So whether you need factory scheduled maintenance
or tires, brakes, and suspension service, we've got your back.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved,
and all staffed by ASE certified technicians. I'm Brett Matchke, and the next time you're due for service,
bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstad here. I absolutely love Wisconsin this time of year. It's absolutely heaven, especially on a lake, especially after a swim perhaps, or maybe even water skiing. But again, you know how that goes. You do something like that, then the joint pain really starts to act up. The knees really start to bark. And you know you want to take care of it, but you don't want surgery. Well, there is another way. QC Kinetics. There's exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief in your joints, and the place to go is QC Kinetics, using cutting-edge treatments, but no surgery, no drugs, and here's the best part, no downtime. You can get right back to work the day of your treatment. Call QC Kinetics today and find out what they can do for you. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. This is the future of medicine. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation, 414-285-3474.
Hi, everybody. This is Susan Hiller from Hiller Ford. Have you been wanting to get a new vehicle but waiting for just the right deal? Well, that just the right deal is at Hiller Ford today. Hiller is offering 0.9% 66-month financing plus a $2,000 factory flex buy rebate on brand new 2024 Ford Explorers. Top that off with Hiller's already deeply discounted prices, and that's a great deal. Stop in today and see why so many people love to buy from Hiller Ford.
Protect mom's assets, protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 2 o'clock at 62 degrees, I'm Julia Fellow. Tonight, mainly clear, low 59. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. Pick day, really nice, a high of 71 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision, Wisconsin. WTMJ is on the ground in Chicago at the Democratic National Convention. It officially starts today, day one. WTMJ's Eric Bilstead is in United Center where the primetime events will begin.
So I'm on the floor of the DNC at the United Center, and one of the changes you're going to see when you're watching on television from the RNC is just where the delegates are placed. One of the differences here, many of the states are in the seats. They're not on the floor of the convention site here at the United Center, and that's because there are more delegates in the Democratic Party. So Wisconsin's on the far right-hand side. So if you're staring at the stage, they're at the far right, up in the seats, but close, real close. And I imagine that first row will have Governor Evers, Senator Baldwin, and others. On the floor of the DNC at the United Center, Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Spanning the states, Kristen Bry is there as well, and she will have live pop-ins talking to Brian Noonan throughout this next hour. Also, there's a Libertarian Party vice presidential nominee campaigning in Wisconsin this week.
Free markets, a deregulated environment, pro-growth economics.
Libertarian VP nominee Mike Termott on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I don't think most Americans would agree that our foreign policy aligns with our own ethics.
Wisconsin expected to go for Harris or Trump by a razor-thin margin, but Termott says if voters want more choices, more parties, they need to vote that way.
You're going to have to disappoint the politician and hold back a vote and vote for your ethics, your principles, your values. Vote for the change that you want.
Vince Vitrano, WTMJ News.
A high-profile reckless homicide case from 6 years ago, you may remember, comes to a close finally in Kenosha. Then 17-year-old Crystal Kaiser said she killed the man who was sex trafficking her. After a lengthy case, she was found guilty and was just sentenced.
Crystal Kaiser will serve 16 years for her reckless homicide conviction connected to the 2018 death of Randall Villar, who Kaiser argued was trafficking her for sex when she was 17 years old. The first 11 of those 16 years will be spent in initial confinement and 5 after that under extended supervision. Kaiser pled guilty in May after her lawyers argued she was justified in her actions under a Wisconsin state law that allows one to be acquitted of all charges if a crime was committed as a direct result of being trafficked. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
People are asked to stay out of Lake Michigan because there's life-threatening waves and strong currents right now. A beach hazard statement in effect until tonight. National Weather Service says waves are forecasted to reach up to 5 feet in waves. Late Sunday, crews rescued 5 people from the water at Bender Park Beach in Oak Creek. At least 2 of those were sent to the hospital with injuries. A second unrelated rescue in Oak Creek was conducted just yesterday near Elm Road Boat Launch. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 194, S&P 500 up 39, NASDAQ up 168. Get an honest opinion on where you are financially and where you're headed. Work with a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 2:04.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
Every great Midwest bank branch has document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Michael Quizon is IT Systems Administrator. Michael, the bank has a slogan.
We are called Simply Local. We're a Simply Local bank.
And your business technology company, James Imaging Systems, has been a 100% locally owned and managed company right here in Wisconsin for over 40 years.
They're more like a partner to us.
In what way?
We call on them at any point, they're there. We ask them any questions that we have, they were there.
James Imaging Systems, document imaging technology, and local service and support.
We can get our printers up and running right away if we have any issues. We can do our business without any downtime at all.
The benefit to Great Midwest Bank?
Efficient operations, time savings on my end. There's no other partner that we can bring on.
Start your partnership with James Imaging Systems today. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
We know how difficult the decision can be to downsize and move from your longtime home. This is Senior Real Estate Specialist Bruce Nemovitz of Bruce's team. We're here to guide you through every step of the way, from downsizing and selling your home to moving to your new lifestyle. With over 35 years of experience, we've helped thousands of folks just like you. Visit brucesteam.com or call 262-242-6177.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Winners of 5 straight games, all against the first place teams. Brew Crew enjoy a day off before a 3-game series with the Cardinals, which begins tomorrow night. Brewers begin the day with an 11-game lead over the St. Louis Cardinals for the first place in the NL Central. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur with an honest assessment of his team's performance against the Broncos.
Not good enough. We got humbled in practice and certainly got humbled again in the game. And, I just looking for a certain style of play that I don't think we really saw, not up to the standard. I thought it got a little bit better in the second half, but certainly it still wasn't good enough.
27-2 the final last night. Packers' final preseason game scheduled for Saturday afternoon against the Ravens. It is a noon start from Lambeau. Taking a look at your traffic and your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. I see 43 north at Highway 164. The right shoulder is blocked because of a disabled vehicle. And 43 southbound from Hampton to Capitol. Lots of red slowdowns likely due to the ongoing construction there. Everything else looks really good. Fingers crossed it stays that way. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, partly cloudy, isolated afternoon showers, sprinkles, possible, a bit breezy, high of 75. Tonight, it'll be mainly clear, a low of 59. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, amazing. Mostly sunny every day. Tuesday, high of 71. Wednesday, high of 74. Thursday, high of 77. Friday, not bad at all either. Partly cloudy, a high of 80 degrees. The current temperature in Madison is 74 degrees and mostly sunny. Green Bay, mostly cloudy, 72 degrees. And Waukesha, cloudy at 74 degrees. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 2:08.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Every day after the 2 o'clock news, we take a spin around Wisconsin to find some stories that you might have missed. It's going to be strange. I have to spin all by myself today, but I will endeavor to do so. If you miss any of the details or want some more information on any of the stories that we cover, text SPIN, S-P-I-N, to 855-616-1620. One of our stories really needs you to text that in and get some more information. Which one will it be? I don't know. But I do know this. It's time to spin.
Palmyra.
Oh, well, who doesn't love a good fish fry or a fish fillet, some sort of fish dinner? Have you ever wondered what happens to the rest of the fish once the tasty parts are removed? Well, it turns out only about 40% of a fish that's caught by commercial fisheries is eaten. The remaining 60% is often relegated to inexpensive uses or thrown away. Rushing Waters Fishery in Palmyra is trying to change that math. Widely regarded as the state's premier aqua farm, Rushing Waters has signed on to the 100% Great Lake Fish Plan. This means they are publicly committing to use 100% of the fish that they raise in 2025. As part of the commitment, the company will be sharing information with other companies in the fish supply chain about ways to incorporate innovative applications for fish byproducts. 29 companies across North America have already signed on to the pledge. Peter Fritsch, president of Rushing Waters Fisheries, said in a statement, quote, "We have been committed to sustainable policies before it was ever popular, so joining the 100% Great Lakes Fish Pledge is just an extension of what we do every day." So very good. I never thought about that. You know, you order fish and you're like, oh, but you've got to figure the head, the bones, the innards, the tails, the eyeballs. There's a lot of fish. 60%. Correct my math if I'm wrong, Rhea. That's more than half. That is more than half of a fish that is not used. They're going to try to fix that, which I admire. All right, let's see where we should go next.
Kenosha.
Oh, that's where J.D. Vance is going to be tomorrow. This story has nothing to do with him. Everybody likes having a tree in their yard, don't you? Until it's time to rake the leaves. It's beautiful having trees on there. Well, because of storms and age and erosion and all kinds of things, sometimes people's trees fall over. Well, the citizens in Kenosha who have had a tree removed from their lawn park, which is a term I have never used. Do you know, do they have lawn parks in Racine or Racine?
I don't have any lawn parks. I don't know what that is.
Well, we call it the parkway. It's the area between the sidewalk and the street. So that narrow stretch of grass that's between between the sidewalk and the street. They don't have them in the city. Like we have one now, but like in a lot of the city, you don't have them.
I didn't know that had a name. I know exactly what you're talking about. I never knew that had a name.
I had never heard it called lawn park, so I had to look that up. But I've always called it a parkway. But anyway, whatever you call it, you know, that stretch of grass between your sidewalk and the street, if you've had a tree removed from that area and you're in Kenosha, you can now apply to have a new tree planted in its place. That's right. The Kenosha Parks Department is going to handle applications, and citizens are asked to call the department and ask to be placed on the reforestation program. So the Parks Department is then going to, once you've applied, they're going to inspect your property. They're going to make sure that it qualifies for a replacement tree and then decide how many trees can be planted. If the Parks Department says, yes, your property qualifies, you're going to, as a resident, receive an order form that lists the trees that are available in this year's program, because they've done this before and they've used a wide variety of trees in this reforestation project. So you'll find out what it is, what trees you can pick from. You'll pick those and how many for your lawn park. And the planting is going to begin in late October and go through the middle of November. So if you're in Kenosha and you need one of those trees, get a hold of the Parks Department. Tell them you want to be on the reforestation program. I do like trees, but we've had, I think in every house, we've had big trees either on the parkway or in the yard, and then come the fall, I curse those trees.
What
Curse
What kind of tree would you have if you had to get one?
See, I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm not an arborist, so I don't know too much about trees. I like a nice oak tree, a maple tree. I think mostly we've had oak trees on the parkways. I see the ones that are at my mom's house that are 60-some years old, and these trees are giant because they've had nothing. That's the beauty of parkway trees or lawn park trees. They don't have anything restricting their growth, so they just get bigger and bigger until a storm comes, and then they get knocked over, and everybody's all upset. But Kenosha's doing something about it, so cheers to them. All right, we've got one more spin. Let's do it.
New Glarus.
Ooh, New Glarus. Is this a beer story? Nope. Business in front, party in the back isn't just a catchy phrase. For two Wisconsin mullet aficionados, it is a way of life that they are showcasing to the nation. Every summer, the USA Mullet Championships showcases the best examples of the oft-mocked hairdo from across the nation. Not limited to pro wrestlers or 90s country singers, the competition has categories for kids, teens, and adults, all vying for the title of Mullet Champion. Wisconsin does have a proud history, and I had proud in quotes, of producing champions. In 2022, Rhea, both the kids and teens division were won by Wisconsinites.
What?
You heard it. A lot of mullets here in Wisconsin. This year, 4-year-old Hayes Pesh from New Glarus, and Tyler Mortimer, a mail carrier from Fond du Lac, have advanced to the third and final round of the USA Mullet Championships. They need your help to bring this home. So we added a link to the story to vote in all the categories. Voting ends this Wednesday, so you got to vote by Wednesday. Winners will be announced on August 27th. So if you're wondering, well, lately I haven't been too proud of Wisconsin, maybe you vote for these two guys, they win the Mullet Championships, and that just raises the stock for the whole state. So if you want to get that link or any information on any of the Spinning the State stories, text SPIN to 855-616-1620, and you can vote. When we come back, Rick Pearson, the political reporter from the Chicago Tribune, will join us. It is Spanning the State.
There are a lot of interesting people and traditions in Wisconsin. 1 hour of covering culture and creativity in our state is simply not enough. I'm Sandy Max of WTMJ's What's on Tap with the happy news that my show is now expanded to 2 hours. So please join me weeknights from 6 till 8 for updates on festivals, films, food, music, theater, and other ways we love to make the most of Wisconsin life. What's on Tap with Sandy Max weeknights now from 6 till 8 on WTMJ. And subscribe to the What's on Tap podcast to listen anytime you want.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You don't need to move up north to feel like you live up north. Trees on the Move has an evergreen sale on now. Save on 5 to 12-foot Black Hills spruce, Serbian spruce, Norway spruce, white pine, and more. Add to your landscape with 20 to 30-foot maples, elms, oaks, honey locust, arborvitae, junipers, and more. Trees on the Move has to clear 40 acres, and this is your chance to buy big and save big. Save up to 75% at Trees on the Move's evergreen sale, Monday through Friday from 8 to 4, Saturday 9 to 4, or see treesonthemove.com.
It is Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan. Kristen is on assignment at the DNC. We'll be checking in with her at about 2:35. Well, in case you don't know, the Chicago's known for a lot of things. Wind, pizza, hot dogs, and, of course, politics. Since 1860, Chicago has hosted 14 Republican national conventions, and including the one that's happening this week, 12 Democratic national conventions, the last one being in 1996. Third-party candidates have also had conventions there. This year's DNC has taken on a different spin over the last few weeks, and to give us some perspective on what's happening in Chicago and the rest of Illinois politically, I am happy to welcome Rick Pearson. Rick has been the Chicago Tribune's chief political reporter since 1998. He's covered Illinois and national politics for more than 40 years, including 7 presidential races and 7 governors, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Rick for a long time and talking to him many times. Rick, thanks for taking a little time out today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian. It's great to be with you.
All right, so let's start with this. The mood of the Illinois Democratic Party in the last few weeks, I'm guessing, has changed. What are you noticing about Illinois Democrats since President Biden's announcement?
Well, I think it's not just Illinois Democrats. I think it's Democrats nationally, and including just people in the city of Chicago. I mean, when you look at how just a matter of more than a month ago, people were almost looking at this convention as almost a funeral dirge. What's going on in the background?
True. Yeah,
I mean, there was a very, a notable lack of enthusiasm. It was kind of like, well, there's going to be this big convention, but given the recent events, including the assassination attempt on Trump, Right after that, of course, that following the poor debate performance by Joe Biden in June, I mean, it was game over for Democrats for the most part. But yes, things have changed rapidly, and Biden's decision to drop out, Kamala Harris bringing new energy to the ticket, Tim Walz, the Minnesota governor, being a running mate, bringing some energy to the Midwest and the blue wall states. It's a noticeably upbeat kind of tenor here, rather than what likely would have just focused on protests and things outside the hall and really not much inside the hall.
Well, looking at comparing what's going to happen this week and the new upbeat mentality to what happened in the RNC here in Milwaukee, what do you think the similarities and the differences might be as far as just the convention tone as a whole?
Well, I think this is going to be an attempt, and it's going to be a lot of contrasting what people heard from Trump and the Republicans in Milwaukee. That's going to be a major kind of theme running through these 4 days, is contrasting Democrats and talking, using this kind of enthusiasm that has shown up in the polls, and using that to kind of project a positive, if not happy outlook for the country if they're allowed to retain the White House, versus what you hear frequently from Trump, which is warnings, danger signs, that Democrats would drive the economy into the ground, would create a depression, would push socialistic policies. That's going to be kind of very much the theme of what you're going to see here.
So this is something I've been wondering about, and correct me if I'm way off base. If you look at Illinois and you look at Wisconsin, Wisconsin has two major blue hubs, Milwaukee and Madison. Mm-hmm. Chicago's major blue hub Illinois' rather, is Chicago and the collar counties. The similarities in the two states are outside of those blue areas. Most of the state is red. Why do you think that Wisconsin is always viewed as a swing state, and yet Illinois pretty much always goes blue? Is it just the size of the pocket of Chicago and the collar counties?
Absolutely. And really, 1988 Illinois was still a swing state. That was the last time that it voted for a Republican. Since that time, obviously, you've got in Illinois the demographic changes. In the old days, Chicago was, of course, Democratic.
Sure.
And then you had suburban collar counties and suburban Cook County. Those were actually the base heart of Republicanism in Illinois. And when you see the demographic changes that have occurred there, it's not the old Republican Party anymore, and it's truly suburban, moderate women, socially moderate women, fiscally conservative women. That was social moderate, fiscal conservative used to be what the Republican Party meant. That's not what it means anymore, and they lost the collar counties. But yeah, the numbers are striking when you basically can say out of Illinois' 102 counties, all you really need to do is win 6, and they're all in northeastern Illinois.
And do you think there's, having looked at, I know you've looked to the north a little bit because you cover stuff that goes all the way up to the Wisconsin state line. Is there a demographic switch that you've noticed that may be happening in Wisconsin as well?
I do, and I do think it's not only a demographic switch. I do think it's more of just kind of the continued rightward movement of the Republican Party and how that fits into the electorate, where that rightward movement appeals to, I would say, a more rural electorate, a more and truly an electorate that used to be a Democratic electorate.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's where you're seeing kind of the power of suburban, and not even just suburban, but even women voters, particularly after, in the 2 years since Roe v. Wade was overturned and abortion becoming such a major factor, and women kind of demonstrating their power at the ballot box.
There was a lot of talk right before, Kamala Harris picked Tim Walz, that J.D. Vance, the governor of Illinois, or not J.D. Vance, sorry, that J.B. Pritzker, these guys need to use full first names, Rick. It gets too confusing.
You know what we just learned? We don't use periods between the J and the B anymore. We
That's
just changed our style because J.D. doesn't use periods, so we're not using periods with J.B.
So I just roll through it. All right, so J.B. Pritzker is currently the governor of Illinois. J.B. Pritzker was also on the short list of potential running mates for Kamala Harris. I don't know if you got any reasons why that didn't turn out, but what does that mean for a governor who was on the short list like J.B. Pritzker to be out? Does it hurt his political future? What's his deal now?
Well, I think that's the real question: is where does this leave him in his political future? You know, on that Sunday afternoon when Biden dropped out and in one statement and then endorsed Kamala Harris in a second statement, you had a big coalescing among likely future presidential candidates supporting the move and embracing Harris. J.B. Pritzker was not as quick and waited till the next day to do that, which I think, he was looking at his future and, is there a point of trying to do something here or not? And obviously there wasn't, because just truly the party coalesced in a way like I've never seen before.
Yeah, it went fast.
Democrats were used to having firing squads in a circle, and for them to really support Harris, so that left Pritzker, with no choice but to endorse Harris.
Well, Rick, unfortunately, I got to get to the news, but it was great reconnecting, and thank you for all your perspective. Have a great convention, and I look forward to talking again soon.
Thanks, Brian. Anytime. Take care.
Take care. That's Rick Pearson. He is the Chicago Tribune's chief political reporter. ABC News, local headlines, a lot next on WTMJ.
The Annex Wealth Management webinar series continues in the second of this two-part series. WTMJ's Vince Petrano, along with Annex Wealth Management's chief economist Brian Jacobson, answer your questions on the ever-changing tax laws. How does the changing tax landscape affect you and your finances? Register for our free webinar on Thursday, August 22nd at WTMJ.com or text WEB to 855-616-1620.
Hey, boaters!
At Kendor Marine, we have everything you could want, think of, or wish for your boat. We're committed to making sure you always have a place to fulfill every boating need that you have. And if you ask around, you'll find out our prices always beat the other guys. This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water. Hey, boaters!
This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. And hey, boaters love shopping here. How do I know? Well, most times it's because they tell me, Dave, I love shopping here. But other times it's because they tell you. If you need a reason to come here, just check out our online reviews. They tell the whole story. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
Hey, John Mercure here. CertaPro Painters are the best in the business. I know they did my house, and it looks fantastic. Worry-free. Start with a free estimate. It's CertaPro Painters. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated right here, interior or exterior, for your home or your business. They're quick. They're easy. They're affordable. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They're the real deal. I trust them at my house. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
It's Heiser's end of summer sizzling savings event, and these deals are hot. Save big on sleek sedans, powerful SUVs, and rugged trucks. Perfect for epic weekend getaways, road trips, or just cruising around town. Customers are our top priority. We're all about giving you the best car buying experience ever. And with our exclusive Safe and Sound program, have peace of mind for the whole family. So what are you waiting for? Stop in or shop online today. At Heiser, today's your day.
You know Fleet Farm's got everything for everyday life. But did you also know we have the best prices guaranteed every day? pet food, wild bird food, automotive, hunting, fishing, farming, you name it. All your everyday essentials, all at the best prices guaranteed. And if you happen to find a lower price elsewhere, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life at the best prices guaranteed.
Shop Steinhoffel's Tempur-Pedic Labor Day sale and save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable base sets. Tempur-Pedic Queen Hybrid mattresses start at only $48 per month when you use Steinhoffel's 60-month financing. Shop in-store or online at
ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. Former New York Congressman George Santos is in federal court. The Republican lawmaker who was expelled by his colleagues, accused of lying about his finances, his education, his family, and other things, is expected to plead guilty to several fraud charges. Secretary of State Blinken's in Israel, says Prime Minister Netanyahu backs a proposal outlined by President Biden for a ceasefire and hostage release deal.
What's most crucial now is that everyone refrain from taking any actions that could fuel further conflict, escalate tensions.
It's Blinken's ninth visit to the region since the October 7th attacks. A real-life president, Joe Biden, will give the keynote address on this first night of the Democratic National Convention, but he'll be introduced by actor Tony Goldwyn, who played President Fitzgerald Grant on TV on ABC's Scandal. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 2:31, I'm Julia Fellow. Your top story, Decision Wisconsin. The Democratic National Convention officially is underway in Chicago. WTMJ's Eric Bilstad is in the United Center right now. Here he's filing what the primetime events will be.
So I'm on the floor of the DNC at the United Center, and one of the changes you're going to see when you're watching on television from the RNC is just where the delegates are placed. One of the differences here, many of the states are in the seats. They're not on the floor of the convention site here at the United Center, and that's because there are more delegates in the Democratic Party. So Wisconsin's on the far right-hand side. So if you're staring at the stage, they're at the far right, up in the seats, but close, real close. And I imagine that first row will have Governor Evers, Senator Baldwin, and others. On the floor of the DNC at the United Center, Eric Bilstad, WTMJ News.
And Spanning the States, Kristen Bry is there as well, on the ground in Chicago at the DNC, and you'll hear from her. She's going to call in at about 2:35, so stay with WTMJ. You are being asked to stay out of Lake Michigan today due to life-threatening waves of up to 5 feet and strong currents. We've got a lot of chop out there, a beach hazard statement in effect through tomorrow. And breaking news, we've just learned this in the newsroom, a settlement has been reached. The family of Devontae Mitchell reached a settlement with Hyatt Regency over his deaths. The terms and dollars of this agreement are not released. The family attorney, Ben Crump, just released to us in a statement minutes ago that the settlement was amicable. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ NX Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow is up 169, S&P 500 up 40, NASDAQ up 177. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at the roads through your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. 43 north at Highway 164, the right shoulder is blocked because of a disabled vehicle. And 43 southbound from Hampton to Capitol. Lots of reds and slowdowns likely due to ongoing construction. Everything else looks okay. Some slowdowns, nothing to be reporting. Just the usual. Fingers crossed it stays that way. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mainly clear, a low of 59. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, amazing. Pick days, mostly sunny. Tuesday, high of 71. Wednesday, high of 74. Thursday, high of 77. Friday, partly cloudy, a high of 80 degrees. The current temperature in Madison is mostly sunny, 74 degrees. In Green Bay, mostly cloudy, 72 degrees. In Waukesha, it's cloudy and 74 degrees. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 2:34.
Acunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Anti-Procrastination Officer Brian Wickert. Most homeowners and home shoppers have heard the Federal Reserve will cut rates by 0.25% in mid-September. Well, I have great news. When it comes to mortgage rates, it's like the cut has already happened. That's how markets work. And it means there's no reason to wait to either start or resume your home search because most 30-year fixed-rate loan scenarios will now have a rate and APR that starts with the number 6 instead of 7 point something. The already lower mortgage rates also mean the refi window of opportunity is open for folks who bought their homes earlier this year or late last year with a rate in the mid to high 7s. If you can save $1,000 a year in payments and spend less than that in refi loan cost, do it. AccuNet can also typically offer a genuine no loan cost refi, which makes lowering your payment a genuine no-brainer. Don't wait. Click on the blue button today for a no-pressure refi checkup or to get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
I love the Fox and Hounds, voted the best supper club in the area and serving fabulous meals for almost 90 years in their rustic timber building. WTMJ's John Mercure here. When you buy one dinner, your second dinner is free always. Desserts, too. It's the best dining value in the state. Steak, seafood, pasta, even the steak and lobster, and prime rib on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Your second dinner is free as you dine in one of the 8 elegant dining rooms. Relax with your favorite beverage on the patio in the woods. It's spectacular. Incredible place to have a drink. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. Wherever you live, it's worth the beautiful drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds, a summer must-see. Gift cards are perfect year-round gifts, as your second dinner is always free, FREE free. Order online at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. Brighten up your Monday and Tuesday with a free dinner tonight. Tables are open at my favorite place, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, Penny Mustard is proud to present
Going to Chicago so you don't have to. From the Democratic National Convention, it's Kristen Bry. Ahoy, ahoy. Kristen Bry is taken to the open seas, and by that I mean Lake Michigan, off the shores of Chicago. She's covering the DNC all week. Is your stomach still holding up against the waves?
I'm doing just fine. My friend is also doing just fine. We've gotten zero, at least that I can tell. It doesn't smell like puke on the boat, so I don't think anyone's actually puked on the boat, so that's good.
That's very good. Okay, so when last we spoke, you were going to connect with some of the other creators. Can I ask you, for the olds in the audience, myself being one of them, we hear the term creator all the time, and I know we talked about like who was invited, but can you just kind of sum up for people who may be wondering what does she actually mean by creator?
Well, let's see if I can do it, because I think it is a nebulous thing. I think when people talk about content creators, it's people who are putting themselves largely on camera, but it can be podcasts. It could even be Substack in your own newsletter. I think when you think about the world of content, it can be video, audio. I guess those are the big ones. But even people who make it like graphics and stuff for their Instagram account, and they actually don't put themselves on video at all. Like that's content. And so I think it's anyone who's an independent person, like an individual who is making things on their own behalf with their own voice and not on behalf of their employer in like a traditional media sense. And it can be anything from like independent journalism to people who are here. Like I talked to Her First 100. And so she is a finance advice creator. So okay. She has an audience of 5 million women, wow. And she talks about money being a feminist issue because when women have control of their money, they don't get themselves they don't stay in toxic relationships, and they have a lot more autonomy. And so her whole platform is about teaching the basics of being able to control and manage your money. But she's here at a political conference because she thinks that money is inherently political. And so she has a podcast. She makes videos. She has workshops and all of that. So like there's that side of things. And then I actually ran into a woman who I've followed her stuff since she started at Vox Media circa 2016. And her videos were actually kind of what inspired me to start making videos of like, there is this a fun way, a fun, engaging, digestible way to talk about politics on camera. So I talked to her for a little bit. And so I think it's a wide range, but it comes back to putting yourself out there with some sort of content to be consumed and you're not necessarily getting paid by a traditional media outlet to do it.
Very nice. All right, so what's been going on? You talked to a couple other creators. What else in the last hour? Have you? Are they giving you lunch on the boat? We're all dying to know.
Lunch. Yeah, so there's a catered lunch that I have not actually. I need to try to go get some food before we actually get off this boat because I was busy talking to people. But I did get to talk to Mina Harris, who I said before in the last hour is Kamala Harris's niece. Who it was interesting because the conversation we got to have, which maybe we'll get to play some of it tomorrow, was she worked on the Obama campaign in 2008, and we talked about how far digital has come when we talk about campaigns. Because if you remember in the 2008 campaign, when millennials were just out of college working on Obama's campaign, it was Facebook. And It was the first time that one of the campaigns really leaned into social media. And at that time, social media was basically Facebook. It was before Instagram. It was certainly before TikTok. And we were talking about the evolution of where it's come now, like where her first campaign was back then. And now to have an entire program set up for people who create stuff online.
That sounds very interesting. Oh,
I'm still here. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. So you talked to her, and what else? Who else have you met on the boat? The finance woman sounds very interesting as well.
She was super interesting. There was an impromptu dance competition that I did not partake in. There is a DJ on the boat, and so some people were dancing. And so I got footage of it. I did not dance myself. I don't think I would do very well in a dance competition.
That's very disappointing. We'd love to see footage of you dancing. So do you get the idea? And I know it's very early. This is the first event for the creator cohort. Are they going to guide the creators pretty closely? Like they'll shepherd you from one event to another, or are they going to at some point let you free range content create?
Well, I mean, you didn't have to come on the boat today, right? And so I think that people were invited to come on this event. I had talked to some people while I was waiting in the security line if they had planned to go or not. And some of them said no, they had other things already set up. And so it's very much, I think, free reign. In the same way when we had our media credentials, it's what interviews have you already set up? Where are you trying to be? At what time? What caucus meetings are you trying to cover? So there isn't a cohort that's getting shepherded?
Yep.
Shepherd? Yep.
Shepherded.
From place to place. Shepherded. It is very much you're here. This is the access you have to things.
Okay.
I don't know if I actually have access to this or not, but they've created a blue carpet in similar fashion as a red carpet that I think each day, in the same way the media row, we saw people get circulated around different politicians trying to hit different podcasts or radio stations and do media hits. I think they have set up this blue carpet for creators to engage with people as they walk. Politicians, I guess maybe celebrities, we'll find out, as they walk down into the United Center. I do not know if I have access to that or not, but I will keep you all updated.
Very good. And since we won't talk to you anymore today because the show's almost over, how do people follow the scavenger hunt? Because you're doing that again.
Yep. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, that's probably going to be the most up to date. So at Kristen Brey, KristinBrey. I am tagging WTMJ. So Dylan and the newsroom should be reposting everything I put up. But as I have stuff and I can count my points, I already have a fair amount because I got some interviews, and influencers and creators are some of the options for points. Someone had thrown on the scavenger hunt finding the camo Harris Walls hat, the trucker hat.
Yeah.
They handed them out as we got on the boat. So that is like a point nice. Right away.
Boom. You gotta like that. Have you seen? I know it's early and you haven't mixed with like the delegates and stuff yet. Other than the cool camo hat, have you spotted any odd outfits?
No odd outfits yet. I will say, as far as delegates though, because we've talked about this story so much. So we've talked about Grace Gerard, right? Farmer meets a wife. The farmer wants a wife.
Yep.
On the shuttle from the West Loop to McCormick Place, ran into Trevor Jung, who is her boyfriend that we talked about on the show. And so he is a Wisconsin delegate because he is a Racine municipal. I think he does transportation for Racine.
Wow, the guy she dumped the farmer for is on your shuttle bus. That's
very
exciting.
charming, very charismatic.
I'm hoping you get no shade at Racine politicians. I hope you get a little higher profile celebrity encounter
We'll
as
see.
the days go
We'll
on.
see who I can get tonight. But yeah, we'll report back tomorrow.
All right. Well, listen, have a good time at the convention tonight. We will talk to you again tomorrow. And again, follow Kristen on Instagram to keep track of her scavenger hunt. All right. Be careful down there. Have fun. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow.
All right. That's Kristen Bry. She's usually sitting right next to me, but today she's in Chicago and I'm in Milwaukee. The juxtaposition is mind-blowing. But we'll deal with it, and we'll do this on Spanning the State.
Ladies and gentlemen, Penny Mustard is proud to present the world's most average sectional.
Okay, let us explain.
The Beck sectional at Penny Mustard was designed to be average.
Average in size, that is.
The fact is, not everyone can accommodate a massive sectional sofa.
That's why we designed the Beck sectional.
It can fit your entire family without filling up the entire room.
It has the look, feel, and confidence of a giant oversized sectional.
But it fits in the average home.
Made in the Midwest with high resiliency foam cushions.
And hundreds of kid and pet friendly fabric and leather options.
So if you want a standard size sofa,
or if you have a small scale space,
Beck's is the average sectional of your dreams.
You know, being average is special.
Yeah?
At least that's what my parents always told me.
Come try the Beck sectional, starting at $36.55 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Better versions of what people want.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
When you need to sell quickly, choose Grandview to buy your home. Don't worry about real estate agents or showings. We'll buy your home as is, no repairs or cleanouts needed, and you'll get an offer in hours. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today.
Can a local bank provide all the big bank services with the friendliness of a small-town neighbor? Waterstone Bank has been doing it for more than a century. This is your Waterstone Bank, and we're invested in the community, supporting education, women's and youth programs, and honoring our brave veterans and frontline heroes. We're at the heart of it all. Welcome to your Waterstone Bank.
Welcome back, Susan. How can I help you today?
Learn more at WSBOnline.com. That's WSBOnline.com. Member FDIC.
Gorgeous new roofs, showstopper siding, or classic brick and stonework. How about modern windows and regal doors that'll make your chin hit the floor? To a lot of people, having these things can really make them enjoy where they live. It makes them proud. But there's always one thing standing in the way. How do I make that happen? At Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, we have excellent financing options for most people in most situations. 12 months, no interest, no payments, and exceptional rates for long-term loans that will beat your bank with no additional fees or hidden costs. You can go to SemperfiRoofing.com to apply for your pre-approval today. We want to make any project affordable to almost any person, and we've gone out of our way to find partners that can help make it happen for you. This is Brad Youngbluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi.
Ask about our finance options.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
I believe it's time for me to fly.
Already? You kicking me out of here this early? All right, I'm going to tell you. Well, tell John and Julie I'm just done. They can start. They can start right now. Brandon's ready. He's good. All right. A couple weeks ago, last week we talked about it too, about my wife's car getting stolen, and we talked about Kristen's yard decorations getting stolen, and Rhea's had her car stolen. Rhea actually the only person I know other than my wife who's had their car stolen. Well, here's an update. So when the car was stolen and my wife filed the police report, the police told her, we're never going to find this car. And so she called the insurance company and gave them the police report. And the insurance company had told her it takes 7 to 10 days for us to confirm that your car was actually stolen, because obviously, as someone who's paid their premiums for years and years, we were trying to run an insurance scam. That's the vibe that they gave us anyway, that we were trying to pull one over on the insurance company. So 10 days passed. The insurance company called and said, okay, we guess you're not trying to pull one over on us. We've written your car out as completely stolen. You're off the hook. Sign your title and send us your keys. So my wife did that. She signed her title. She took 2 sets of keys because earlier the insurance company had wanted a picture of both sets of keys, again, to make sure we hadn't driven the car somewhere and then set it ablaze. She did all that. So Thursday night, she FedExed them all the stuff. Saturday night, after moving my mom, my daughter and her boyfriend were in town, and Debbie and I were sitting at the table, and it was about 10:30, and her cell phone rings. And it's a number she didn't know, so she let it go to voicemail. Turns out it was a police officer. And he was leaving a message saying, hey, this is Officer Alvarez. We found your car. And everybody at the table except my daughter was like, oh, no. Because you don't want to. Who wants a stolen car back after 2 weeks? Who knows what was in there? Watch the movie The Other Guys for the Dirty Mike and the Boys scene. You know why you don't want your car back. So he left a message. My wife tries calling back. Tried 3 or 4 times. It was not a number to the police station. It must have been to this officer's personal cell. And so I, of course, thought this was kind of shifty. My daughter thought I was being old and cranky for thinking it was shifty. I was like, it's 10:30 on a Saturday night. He called from a personal phone, and now he's not answering. It seems kind of shifty. Well, finally my wife gets a hold of him. The guy goes, hey, we found your car. It's in an alley. And he gives the address. It was about 3 miles from our house, but it was 3 miles, let's say, the wrong way. So it's not a great neighborhood. And my wife hadn't told me that the garage door opener was still in the car. Knowing that the car had been stolen from right in front of our house, I rightfully was a little put off by that, as was my daughter. And so my wife asked the police officer, can I get the garage door opener out of it? And he said, well, we're not doing anything for about 30 minutes because that's when the tows are going to come. And it's all unlocked because the back window's broken and the steering column's all ripped out. So if you want to go, you can go. And being a good husband, I guess, I decided, okay, I'll drive you into this neighborhood. But before I get in the car, I grabbed a baseball bat, which I understand is stupid because this is not West Side Story. People are not going to be fighting with baseball bats, right? People nowadays pull guns and stuff to kill you. And here I go with a baseball bat like I'm going to handle business. But I wanted my wife to know that I was still capable of handling some business. The car was in an alley, stashed behind this old abandoned building. And we pull up. My wife hops out as I'm sitting my driver door to the car's driver door by about 2 feet. My wife gets out, grabs the garage door opener, looks for her chargers in the console. Those are gone. We hop back in the car. As we're about to pull away, a van pulls in, coming the opposite way into the alley. And I'm like, oh, here we go. At that same moment, my daughter calls. And I'm like, not now. We're busy. So the car starts to block, the van starts to block the alley. And I'm thinking, this is not good. They were just backing into a parking spot. All in all, it's good. But now we don't know what to do because technically my wife doesn't own the car anymore. The insurance company owns the car. Somebody texted in, was it a Kia or a Hyundai? It was, in fact, a Kia Soul. So, yes, the Kia boys still doing their dirtiest. All right, let's take this break. I think I'm already done. No? Ria's like, yeah, you're done. Is that why you played the REO Speedwagon? Because now we're finished? All right, listen, thanks for listening. Thanks for being part of the program. We will be back tomorrow. Kristen will be still at the DNC. Who knows where I'm going to be? Wink, wink. A message may have just come through, but we'll find out. It's Spanning the State.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our